Hello and welcome to part 1 of my Pokemon Platinum playthrough. Okay, this is going to be replacing SoulSilver. Okay, I've really had to speed this up because it was like 20 minutes and you've all seen this bit before. Okay, just fixing settings so it looks a bit prettier. No items in the PC. Okay, your mum tells you that Barry came looking for you but left in a rush, and then she tells you not to go into the grass because Pokemon attack you, and it's like, okay, I won't go into the grass, and yeah, so I go and try to go into the grass, see if it lets me, and this guy pushes me out the way and then tells me that Barry's looking for me. So I go over to Barry's house, and he bumps into me. I'm like, geez, are you going to look where you're going? But he's obviously not, and tells me that he quickly forgot something, and he goes into the house. His mum just stands there, like, ignoring anything that I'm there. And yeah, Barry then whizzes downstairs saying that he'll fine me 10 million Pokepounds if I'm late. What is the Pokemon currency? I think I'll call it Pokepounds, but if you know what it is, post it in the comments box below. Okay, we decide that we're going to go to Professor Rowan's lab, and I don't want to go because, Pokemon attack me, and but Barry has this bizarre plan that if we move from patch to patch to patch to patch to patch, then the Pokemon won't attack us. So I'm like, hey, have you really thought this through? Is it like proven or anything? And he goes, trust me. And he's like, okay, here goes. On your marks. And he runs, and this voice like thunder booms from the corner, and it's Professor Rowan, and he's like, oh, you two don't seem to have any Pokemon with you. Then what is the meaning of going into the tall grass? And then Barry's like, not saying anything. Hey, Wormwins, that's that Professor Rowan from the TV, isn't it? And then the professor starts talking to himself, and I'm like, okay, it's a bit weird. Okay. But, what can we do? And he asks us if we love Pokemon. It's like, obviously, I wouldn't be playing this game if I didn't. And look, the time changes, it goes all darker, yeah. Okay, and then he says, what, you can ask us 100 times, the answer will never change. We both love Pokemon, right, Mel? Wins? I'm like, yeah, of course we do. And he's like, a pair of foolish children want to go into the grass. It worries me to trust them with Pokemon. Well then, forget about me. But give a Pokemon to my friends. I mean, it was me who wanted to go into the tall grass. Oh, how big of you? And then he says, well, very well, I'll trust you with Pokemon, and because he's like very easily swayed. And then he just turns around randomly, and then Dawn comes along, and she tells him that he forgot his briefcase and asks if there's anything wrong, and we're like, of course there's nothing wrong, we're just two amazing people who want amazing Pokemon. But it's a shame Barry's not amazing, and it's a shame that the Pokemon aren't amazing. But anyway, and he's like very pleased that Dawn was clever enough to give him his briefcase. And yeah, we exist side by side with Pokemon. There comes a place where Pokemon and people should unite. For them, today is their time. Please, time and place. Go on, open the briefcase and choose Pokemon. Really? Wow, Professor Rowan. I can't believe it. I'm so happy now. Can't even keep a straight face. Hey, Wins. You choose first. And then he's like, I'm like, thanks, Barry. I'm going to go pick up Pokemon. And I go into the briefcase. And yeah. And I pick a Pokemon. Now, which one to choose? This one seems shaky. Oh, but it could be this one. Oh, which one? Well, in this one, you've got Turtwig. And in this one, you've got Chimchar. And this one, Piplup. I'm going to use Chimchar because, I've used a water type and I've used a grass type. So I think only fair that I use fire type this time. Where it seems to go. On regards of teams, I've already started planning my team. But if you've got any suggestions, then please post below. Yeah. Because I do need ideas. But any ideas will be taken on, but I can't promise that I use all or any of them. I do need help with the grass type, but okay. Then he challenged me to a battle, which is something he's always wanted to do ever since we were like little kids. And I'm like, fine, if you really want to, I'll have a battle with you. And he's like, woo, battle. And then he sends out his Piplup, and I'm like, go, Chimchar. scratch attack, and it's like pound attack, and it's like pound attack, I'm like leer attack, and it's like growl attack, and I'm like scratch attack. Okay, a bit weird. Yeah, I had to speed this bit up because the video was like 20 minutes long. It's a long old video. Okay. Yeah, and I beat him and get 70 experience and grow to level 6. Yay. I beat him, and that's like amazing, and he's like, we need to go home, so see you when we wins. Teleports me home magically, and then mum cooks me some dinner, and I'm like, geez, thanks mum, let's go sit down. And she asked me what's the matter, and I'm like, not gonna say anything, and she's like, wow, that happened to you? I was like, mum, I didn't say anything. Then she starts ranting on about something, and I'm like, but I didn't say anything. And then she goes, go to Professor Rowan. I'm like, fine, I'll go, even though I didn't say anything. And she like pretends I can talk, but I can't. And then she throws new pairs of shoes at me. I'm like, thanks mum, thanks, that could be really handy. Yeah, so I couldn't be more excited. And yeah, I run out of that house as soon as she stops talking about the B button. I'm like, yeah, I understand, I do know how to play Pokemon, I'm not stupid. Jeez. And I run out of that house, and I run all the way to Sandgem Town, where the lab is. And then I'm like, oh, hey Barry, what do you want? And he's like, I've got this great idea, listen up. You know that lake we always play at? Well, there's a legendary Pokemon that's there. Yeah, you guessed it, we're going to go catch that legendary Pokemon. Professor Ron will be so happy, me and you together, there's nothing to fear. I'm like, oh, you stupid boy. You have a level 5 Piplup, and I have a level 6 Chimchar. Like, we're going to go and catch a level 50 odd Mesprit. God, stupid boy. It's not going to happen. Dear. And then we look up, and suddenly there's this spooky blue-haired man. The flowing of time, the expanding of space. I will make it all mine one day. Cyrus is my name. Remember that. Until then, sleep as you can. And I'm like, right, okay. Slightly peculiar. Allow me to pass. Step aside. And I'm like, okay, freaky man coming through. And even Barry agrees with me. I'm like, finally, something we agree on. And we go, Cahew! And sorry for the weird impression. But, you know, he's like, whoa, the legendary Pokemon. Did you hear that? And that was a legendary Pokemon crying. Okay, this is our chance. Let's catch it. Then he's like, snap. We haven't got any Pokeballs, you know? P-O-K accent E-ball. We're going to have to go to Professor Rowan. Remember what he said? Have to visit him in the lab if we needed anything. And I'm like, yeah, I wonder if he can get rid of you. Doubt it. Okay, so we leave Lake Verity. And I'm on my way to Sandgem Town with only a minute left. And I'm like, oh my god, I've got to do this all in a minute. And with wild battle encounters, I don't know. Don't know how I'm going to manage it all. But, you know, I am. Stupid bidoof. Dawn's there waiting for me. And she's like, oh, there you are. Please come with me. The professor is waiting. But I didn't book an appointment. How do you know I was coming? And she tells me, this is our research lab. Let's go. And Barry runs into me again. And I'm like, are you going to insist on crashing into me every time? And he just ignores me and tells me that Professor Rowan isn't that scary, and then runs off. I'm like, jeez, he's so impatient. And then, like, Dawn agrees with me. I'm like, thank you. More sense. I wish you were my friend rather than him. So I go in here, and I've had to, like, speed up, because all he does, he just talks about him and Chimchar and stuff, and I call him Flamon, because, you know, Flamon from South Park and stuff. Yeah, and he tells me how he's, like, 60, and he wishes that he could fulfill this, but now he needs to pass it on to me. And he gives me a Pokedex, and I'm like, thanks. Yeah, I'll be leaving now. Yeah, so rabbits on. And that's pretty much all we have time for this video. So tune in and I'll have more. Bye. I'll have more soon. Bye.